Hello everyone, it is election season. We are canvassing, getting the word out and everything, and we are here with...
My name is Jeffrey Lustick. I'm the Assembly candidate for Assembly District 11, and this is downtown Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and East Las Vegas.
Wow. So right now, who's your opponent?
My opponent is someone by the name of Cynthia Moore. She's a Democrat. She's a newcomer. She's not an incumbent.
Yeah, I've had issues personally with the incumbent. She made false accusations about me, which I'll talk about that in another video. So you've been out there in the neighborhood. You've been getting a lot of positive reactions, unlike other canvassing tasks. So what are the issues they're very concerned about?
You know, if you come to East Las Vegas and North Las Vegas, what you'll see are families that are very concerned about public safety, policing, and prosecution, schools, improving our public education, and then the third category I'm just going to call the economy, prosperity, jobs, money to live off of, high fees from government. So those are the big three issues that I hear all the time when I'm out here in these neighborhoods.
Tell me about it. What are one of the issues? What is the first bill you have on mind if you get elected to the legislature?
So I won't be alone in this, but we're going to change two key criminal statutes right now. The Democrats about 4 years ago made it very easy for people to steal up to $1,200. If you steal under $1,200, it's technically a misdemeanor or a gross misdemeanor in our state.
Just like California.
Yes, and what this has done is it's made police just absolutely not arrest someone unless they have taken several $1,000s of merchandise. I was recently in a store just down the street, and I witnessed a person with a bag filling up a bag, and the manager was right next to me. I said, "Are you going to do something about it?" She said, "No, he'll be back tomorrow." And so the police will not come when called, they will not arrest, they will not prosecute.
Wow.
The other thing that we have to do is we have to change the level of fentanyl. Right now you can possess several grams of fentanyl, up to 40 grams of fentanyl, and it's considered a minor drug offense. So we want to change the way that the drug offenses are calculated and determined. We got to get the fentanyl off the street. We got to get the thieves under control, because it's making our streets unsafe with petty crime. People that are addicted to fentanyl are breaking into cars. They're breaking into houses.
Wow.
They're stealing things from the grocery store. In this district, we have gates. When you come in, the gate has to let you into the grocery store and let you out of the grocery store. And we have armed guards protecting our eggs.
I've seen that in the neighborhoods
milk
around here, yes.
And it's just down the street from here that this is going on. So we really need to change it. And I'm not going to be the only one that's going to propose that bill.
But we keep blaming e-commerce why stores keep closing and struggling.
Well, that's certainly the case. But when you have a Walgreens in this neighborhood that closes because they can't keep the merchandise on the shelf, it makes the people in this neighborhood have to drive 7 miles to the next one. It's a disservice. And then
people can't even drive for the reason. Other thing you wanted to talk about, the DMV.
That's right.
What is that?
So a signature issue of mine is to change the way that the DMV registers motor vehicles in this state. Currently, the motor vehicle registration is based on the year of the car and the value of the car. And so if you're a family of 4 children, let's say, and you're making around $60,000 to $70,000 a year, if you have a brand new car, chances are pretty good you're going to pay $300 to $500 a year per car on a car that you already paid tax on.
Unbelievable.
What I want to do is do what 37 states have done, and that's change the DMV to a flat rate regardless.
It's a regressive tax.
It is. And
we don't have progressive taxation, despite that they claim they're progressives.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, what happens is that there's people that have to drive. They have to drive their children to school. They have to drive to work. They have to drive to medical appointments.
Yes.
And it forces them to drive vehicles that don't have license plates and don't have insurance. Because if you let your insurance lapse in this state, you get a fine. A penalty.
And other people out there point out that, yeah, we have to register our car in other states and then act like we live in other states. Not to mention these neighborhoods are not designed so well for walking. It's better here, but in most parts of the valley, they're not designed for walking or taking transit. That's what my organization, Strong Towns Las Vegas, tries to fight for.
And you know, the other thing that this does is it causes people to not have insurance because they can't afford insurance, and then our insurance rates collectively go up.
And by the way, in 2017, one of the legislatures, Edgar Flores, he actually introduced a bill to increased the lower requirements for insurance. So it used to be like $50 insurance, but they raised the standard for that. Now it's like $20,000-$30,000 per vehicle. So that added a lot of insult to injury. I hear a lot of people claim that, you know, there was a lot of lobbyists, lawyers, or whatever that pushed that, so it's just very disturbing.
Well, and the reason given by the state legislature is you guys don't have a state income tax, so you can pay for your cars. Well, that's not a good answer, because 2 years ago...
What should we be like, Washington State?
Yes, we should. But see, 2 years ago, the legislature had so much money that they had the Christmas tree bill, and the legislator that you're talking about, B. Duran, was a member of the Culinary Union while she was in the legislature.
Yeah.
She sponsored a bill and voted in favor of a bill to give $25 million to the Culinary Union.
I'm not surprised.
If we could give $25 million to the Culinary Union, if we can give $158 million to a stadium that's owned by a billionaire, okay, a ball team that's owned by a billionaire.
And I saw the implosion 6 days ago in person.
We can find a way to have $88 car tabs. I'm telling you.
Tell me about it.
Here.
Yeah, and now you see why B. Duran did not even run for re-election.
That's right.
So embarrassing, unbelievable. She made false accusations about me that I broke into her home, but I was going from door to door in the legislature homes asking about why our gas is coming from California and we're overpaying.
Yeah,
and now this
88%,
issue has
yes.
been widespread. You've talked about building a new refinery out here.
I've taken a lot of flack from the left about this.
So she made false accusations that I broke in or harassed her, even though a member of her house, a homeowner who lived with her, invited me over. It was just absolutely disgusting, but we have to really fight back.
Yeah.
Anyway, one last question. How can we be sure that you're for the people and not for the establishment?
So I am, by all means, a person of the neighborhood, okay? I have never been elected and never been in a party position where I have debts to pay, where I'm subject to influence of lobbyists, okay? When I wanted to run for office, I held focus groups. I invited people from Fremont Street to come into my building and sit with me and I asked them about their issues. And this is how I found out about several things that I want to do that are on my flyer, things that I want to do when I get elected. So I don't subscribe to the country club Republican type thing. I don't go to those events. You know, for me, it's about what can I do for the people in this neighborhood every single day when I meet with people. And I want people to know that I'm going to open an office. I'm going to be one of the only state legislators in this state that's going to have a local office that'll be manned when the session is not in session.
They do that in California and many other states.
They're always in session in California. And, you know, I want to change the way our legislature meets. We meet once every 2 years here, and that's not enough. And it makes the state government and the county government...
They act like they're gophers. They're ghosts.
It makes the state and county government too powerful. And so I want to have an office of local concern. I'm a former judge. I'm a former prosecutor. I've been a pro bono attorney a lot in my career, and I'm used to helping people with their issues. So
there you go.
You'll have an office. I'll have volunteer staff. My office is going to be donated by small business. You'll be able to come to my office. You'll be able to call my office and say, Jeff, I'm having a problem with the city. Can you help me with this?
There you go.
And now you have a state assemblyman calling on your behalf, and that's what's going to get the job done.
Yes.
So Cyrus, if that doesn't...
And limit the number of bills.
If that doesn't convince you that I'm a man of the voter, a man of the constituents, I don't know what else will.
Amen. And then how can people help you out?
So primarily we have boots on the ground. We need funding, okay? Any campaign, the lifeblood is funding. We have to pay for these signs. We have to pay for television commercials because we want to get our word out. We only have 24 days until election, but if you go to my website, Jeff for Nevada, or Jeff for Nevada is the Facebook. If you go to jefffornvassembly.com, that is the place where you can make a donation directly to my campaign, and I would sure appreciate it.
Will do. All right, now let's take a look at this neighborhood right now. Get a glimpse of the view. You have the Northtown Recreation Center, Bruce and Webb, and then right here you've got Owens.
And what I want to point out in this neighborhood, and we see this a lot, is that the people in these neighborhoods live behind bars. They have bars on their fences.
Yeah.
They have bars on their gates. They have bars on their windows.
I've been here before. I filmed it. Yeah.
It feels like Compton. It feels like Compton. We cannot allow Las Vegas to become like Compton. We cannot allow this to continue. And the way we do this is that we give people opportunities with good jobs, and we must improve our schools. The only thing that lifts people out of poverty is if you win the lottery or if you do well in school. And we can't always win the lottery, which, by the way, I want to have a lottery in Nevada to support our schools, because I know you're driving to Arizona to get your tickets anyway. Right?
Or you happen to have a skill that you acquired and then you're able to work on it.
Schools, for years, we've been banging our head against the wall. We've been spending money and we've been getting no better results, and because we have teacher turnover. And I'm one of few Republicans, I think maybe about 4 or 5 Republicans in the state, that was endorsed by the Nevada State Education Association. And the reason they endorsed me, which they almost always endorse,
dang, you go,
is because I want to pay teachers more so that they will stay here. My best teachers in school were here for 30 years. Now we have a small business owner right here.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Cyrus.
No problem.
Thanks for coming to the 11th
No problem. Get the word out. Thank you so much.
You elect me. Come back in 6 years and see what we're doing over here.
Great pleasure.
Yes.